Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Glmr. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now, if you haven't seen the previous update, please make sure to check that out so that you have more context. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. And without further ado, let's get straight into the charts. So jumping into the daily chart, as you can see, the Fibonacci retracement remains the same, one that we've had for a very long time, with the swing high printed in April of 2022 and the swing low printed in February 2022. Obviously, we are way down below the 1.618, which was our technical target after we started losing the February low. And right now, we're sitting at the 2.414 Fibonacci retracement level. And hopefully, we're going to find our bottom relatively soon. That all depends on Bitcoin, obviously, and the macroeconomic settings that we're going to be finding ourselves in within the next couple of months. Hopefully, by spring of 2023, things are going to start to improve in the financial sector. And hopefully, the S&P 500 and the crypto markets start to print higher highs and higher lows into summer of 2023, and after a pullback in the summer, we're going to see the bull market kick off at the end of 2023 into 2024 and 2025. So on the daily chart here, you have a support block that I showed you in the previous update. So the support block is starting at 36 cents and going all the way down to 34 cents. And right now we are right at the support of the support block. As you can see, we closed the previous 3 candles right there at that exact level. Just like we did back at the end of November, we had 2 closes there. And if we start losing this, I would assume that we're going to be coming back down even lower. If I bring out a Fibonacci retracement for this particular fractal, where we do see the high all the way up here in December, at the beginning of December, and the swing low is November 22nd. Now that support level is going to be at 31.5 cents. Below that, we're going to see the 1.272 support level, which is the 28 cents range, and the 1.618 of the smaller fib is going to be all the way at 24 cents. Now, keep in mind, all of these prices are very, very possible, especially with the fact that Glmr is getting a lot of tokens dumped into the circulation. So the price is going to be getting a lot of suppression and a lot to fight against. And I do think it's very possible that Glmr goes below 30 cents before we find the bear market bottom for this particular project. But that doesn't have that's not necessarily a bad thing for you, because you get to dollar cost average at lower prices, which is typically what you're looking for in a bear market, right? If you believe in the project long term, you know where it's going, you know where it's headed, then you have no problem with the price dropping 30-40% in a day even. And I'd be happy for the markets to stay in this kind of state for the next year, so I can dollar cost average as much as I can, but I know that that's not practical, right? I hope it does, but we'll see. So I'm trying my best to dollar cost average into all the altcoins that I'm looking for. And obviously going all in is not the smartest thing to do, because there's always more room to drop and more room to go further down. So just dollar cost average through these strong dips. Once you see a strong capitulation, just like we saw in December here, this is where you can start dollar cost averaging, because the prices are very, very cheap. So the 2.414 Fibonacci retracement is sitting slightly below 33 cents. So that's going to be a good dollar cost averaging area for you. But I would say anything below 40 cents is a pretty good level to start dollar cost averaging. As you can see, we have multiple resistance blocks above us, but we're not going to be taking a look at those right now, because I don't think that we're going to be seeing any strong pumps before the end of the year. But you can take a look at the daily chart here and set them up for yourself. You can see that the first one here is set up from 69 cents all the way to 65 cents. The next one is set up from 60 cents all the way down to 54 cents. And the blue resistance block is set up from 51.5 cents all the way down to 42.5 cents. And obviously this purple one is set up from 36 cents all the way down to 34 cents. So these are the support levels that I would be looking for Glmr. You have to keep in mind also that we don't have any history here down below. So we're basically going into uncharted territory. So we could, go off this Fibonacci retracement and target 25.5 cents, but we don't have any previous data to support this low, right? This is simply based off the Fibonacci retracement. So once we start losing the low that we printed in November, which I think is going to happen, then it's a free-for-all. We don't know what's going to be happening. If we see a strong dip, then my best guess is going to be just dollar cost averaging at these levels. And if we fall even further down, just dollar cost average, because really there is nothing that you can do. Either don't buy into the project and forget about it, or just buy when you see a strong correction. There's nothing more to that. Now, taking a look at the RSI on the daily chart, the blue trend line here is going to be something that we are going to be targeting as a support level, because as you can see, since May of 2022, we have been retesting this as a support level. And every time we had a bounce, you saw it move all the way up here, providing us with a very nice swing trade opportunity. So I would take a look at the blue trend line, but also there is a good chance that we might start losing that level and we might even go down into the oversold. Now, if that happens, we can always set up a support block here, just like this. There we go. So every time you touch that support block, you have a move to the upside. So this is a bit easier for you to follow, right? You have the blue trend line, which we can actually flip that into a yellow, so it's easier for you to see. And we also have the support block here on the RSI. It's anywhere from 31 to 23.5. And once you get into that support block, that's a pretty good buying opportunity in my opinion. And if you see any sort of pumps, any sort of relief rallies, the white trend line above would be a good level to take some profits at, because historically, every time you ran into that level, you got rejected back down. Now, taking a look at the Binance chart. And before we continue, I quickly want to ask you, do you value your privacy? If the answer is yes, then you must take a look at ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN offers you the privacy that you deserve, no activity logs and no connection logs. Your internet provider won't be able to access anything, and anyone using the same open free Wi-Fi in the cafe as you won't be able to do any harm or breach your security. You can use the ExpressVPN application on any device. You can connect it to your PlayStation, or you can even connect it to your router so that anyone who connects is automatically secured. Or if you're looking to access any region-blocked content on your streaming platform, well, ExpressVPN can do that as well. If you're living in the Netherlands and you want to access a TV show that's only available in Japan, well, my friend, you can do that with ExpressVPN. You can use the link down below in the description and get a discounted price along with 3 extra months for free. You can get your money back if you don't like it, but I don't see any reason why you wouldn't like it, because we all need the privacy, and in today's age especially. And you can also pay with Bitcoin, so that's a really cool feature as well. And let's get on with the video. So as you can see, we have come back down to the yellow support trend line that I showed you in the last video. So perfect buying opportunity, picture perfect stuff here. We broke above this resistance trend line in November, and now we came back down to support it, to test it as a support. So this is a perfect buying opportunity based on this setup that we have here. And we retested the purple resistance trend line, just like I assumed we would do, because we lost it here in November, and then we came back up to retest it as resistance, and vice versa. We broke through this resistance level in November, and we came back down to retest it as a support. So if you watched my previous video, you were aware of this beforehand, and you were able to set up some buy limit orders, and luckily you're still at these levels, so you could even dollar cost average right now. But there is no saying that we're not going to come back lower. Obviously, we could come back down and retest this low here, but I'm just saying that I was pretty certain that we were going to come back down and at least retest the yellow support trend line. And now this is a support trend line, and hopefully we don't lose it. Hopefully we're going to be printing this higher low and advancing and breaking this high that we printed at the beginning of December. That would be a pretty bullish scenario. The daily stochastic is in the oversold, so this is a good buying opportunity. The volume isn't looking very bullish in my opinion, because we're not getting any big candles. We just had a pretty strong sell-off here, and we're kind of going sideways in terms of the price action as well for the past 5 days, as you can see. So not a lot of action for Glmr in the past week, but if Bitcoin continues dropping, keep in mind we can always go lower. And taking a look at the MACD, we just got our bear cross, which is the downtrend confirmation December 15th. So potentially we could see even a further move to the downside, as the last time we saw that on the MACD was back November 7th. And as you can see, that obviously was the FTX crash, but still you have to pay attention to these indicators. But realistically, like I said, these are pretty good prices to be dollar cost averaging at. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If I missed out anything important on the charts, please let me know down below in the comment section. Feel free to check out my Twitter. Feel free to check out my Patreon for more exclusive content, such as podcasts, your TA requests, low cap gems that I'm dollar cost averaging into, my buy alerts, and yeah, a lot more coming to Patreon. So feel free to check that out, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.